The United Nations.
Well, you know what? In our final minute here, because I think this was the rudest thing of all, Julie. We're speaking with Julie Strauss-Levin. Going out
Hello,
the door.
And welcome to
Trump
the
had already
golf
won the
club.
election. It was during
I'm
the
excited,
transition,
frankly. Let's
the
play some
first
golf.
week of December, and at the UN, Obama, Biden, they broke 50 years of precedent set up by Harry Truman by using the United Nations to condemn our most important ally. It was despicable what they did.
It was absolutely despicable. And when Nikki Haley came in, who was our amazing United Nations
Looking good so far.
From the United States to the UN, she was absolutely appalled at what she witnessed. And she said what really...
Okay, looks like we have around 155 yards to go.
The United States really was behind the passage of UN Resolution 2334. And what that resolution said, for the sake of our listeners, was that it falsely claimed that the old city of Jerusalem was essentially, quote, illegal, and it was occupied Palestinian territory.
Yeah.
So that was not only in and of itself astonishing, but here's what happened. Biden, because again, everything Obama did, Biden owns. You can't walk away from that history. And so what that administration did, it instigated the humiliation of the Israel ambassador to the United Nations, Ambassador Danny Danon. And when that vote happened and that resolution passed, everybody else sitting at the Security Council table stood up and took a standing ovation while Ambassador Danon from Israel sat there, just so they could ridicule. And this was literally, as you said, in December 2016, when the door was about to hit Obama, Biden on the rear end as they were on their way out.
Yeah.
That's what the United States of America did to its closest ally in the Middle East, Israel.
If an American voter cares about the security of our most important ally in the most volatile region of this world, Israel, in the Middle East, if they care about the future of that country and believe
nice way to start things out,
an important reason why that nation exists and why they have the relationship.
Okay, it's time to send this ball on its way.
They can rationalize a vote for Joe Biden, not if they hold this to be dear.
You're right, but there's also a lot more, because if you look at Biden,
Julie, can you hold that thought? I want to hear a lot more, but I got to take a quick break and then we'll be back for a minute. All right. Stand by.
Absolutely.
All right, Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
We're going back to the 95s because in Maryland, while we're doing very well in Virginia, now we've got a wreck. It happened southbound right after Lorton Road. They pulled it over onto the left shoulder, but you're still going to be slow from Lorton down to the Occoquan. Kind of where we left things, we're also looking at traffic very slow on 66 eastbound between 123 and Nutley Street. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, out from the WMAL-ABC 7 Stormwater Forecast.
Plan for a quiet and dry evening around the DMV with temperatures falling through the 60s. After sunset will be in the 50s. Overnight, mainly clear and starry. Also a frost advisory areas north and west of the district until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Waking up tomorrow, temperatures in the 30s, especially along the I-81 corridor, to lower to middle 40s inside the Beltway. Lots of sun tomorrow, near 70 degrees, near 80 degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm ABC 7 meteorologist Steve Rudin in the Stormwatch 7 Weather Center.
Right now, 66 degrees.
37-footer here. Let's see what you can do.
I was bleeding out after being hit with an IED in Iraq. The medics put out a call to a bunch of sailors and Marines who didn't know me to give blood, and they saved my life. They didn't ask if I was black, white, male, female. It didn't matter. It only mattered that I was an American. I'm Daniel Gade. Because of them, I've been able to teach at West Point, compete in triathlons, serve 2 presidents, and be a father to my 3 kids. Now I'm running for the United States Senate because I'm not done serving my country or paying back the sacrifice those men and women made for me. As your senator, I'll fight for Virginia every day. That starts with restoring law and order, affordable health care, getting Virginia past COVID and back to work, and making the right decision.
And that'll keep you at even
I'm
par.
Daniel Gade,
nice.
candidate for the United States Senate, and I approve this message.
Okay, next stop,
those
Fairway.
And Marines back in Iraq, I wouldn't be here. That's the America I know, and it's worth fighting for. Paid for by Gade for Virginia.
Julie Strauss-Levin, we've got a minute here to wrap things up. Thank you. I'm sorry I ran out of time, but go ahead and finish that final thought there.
Okay, so if we believe in the adage, you are who the company you keep, which I do, a very quick look
Heading towards the beach here, not the good kind.
And that is this. The Democrat Party has really turned into the party of anti-Semites. If you look at members of Congress on the Democrat side, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, we know what they've said. So they've said outright anti-Semitic comments. And Joe Biden has surrounded himself with certainly no less than AOC. Mm-hmm. We also know that he had no less than 6 speakers at his convention who spoke highly of and have surrounded themselves with Louis Farrakhan, who we all know is an anti-Semite and is called to termites, among other things.
Great
One
contact.
of whom is Linda Sarsour. And after the Biden campaign got a little heat for having Linda Sarsour present, they tried to distance themselves.
I'm pleased with that.
Then,
I mean, that's all you can ask for. This looks like, I'd say around 110 yards or so to the pin.
For criticizing Sarsour.
Oh, yeah. There's those famous dogs. We got to leave it there. Julie, we're out of time, but we'll have you back again between now and Election Day. It's too important. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Give Mark our best. It's time now to check in with the news on WMA.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. Now, more than ever, depend on 105.9 FM, WMAL, a Cumulus station. News now.
WMAL News at 5. I'm Maria Lee. Frederick County not planning to ease coronavirus restrictions right away.
I have decided to take a pause with reopenings so that we can continue to track our numbers.
Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner said today the 7-day average number of new COVID-19 cases per 100,000 people has almost doubled since the beginning of September.
The rapid growth in new cases is of concern.
So tonight, Frederick County restaurants will not increase indoor capacity from 50 to 75% like their counterparts in other areas of the state. Gardner's working on getting grants so restaurants can buy heaters to keep outdoor diners comfortable as temperatures drop. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Early voting continuing in Virginia.
So we anticipated some lines, but the enthusiasm that we saw with the first day was exciting and surprising.
Christopher Piper, the Virginia Elections Commissioner, tells WMAL's Mornings on the Mall local jurisdictions can make adjustments so voters don't have to wait in line.
Like Fairfax County, realizing the demand, went ahead and took another room in the county government center and opened it up.
More satellite centers for early voting are set to open in Northern Virginia counties starting in mid-October. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com. New tonight, a federal judge dismissing a lawsuit from President Trump's re-election campaign challenging Nevada's new vote-by-mail law, saying the campaign failed to show how it could be harmed by the law. The campaign has argued that the law is unconstitutional, but Judge James C. Mahan says the Trump campaign made allegations that were policy disagreements, but did not show any constitutional harm. President Trump's nominee to fill the Supreme Court vacancy will get a vote this year on the Senate floor.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell insists there is plenty of time to confirm a Supreme Court nominee before the election or the end of the year.
History and precedent make that perfectly clear.
There are 43 days until Election Day. McConnell says the confirmations of Justices John Paul Stevens and Sandra Day O'Connor took 19 days and 33 days, respectively. Top Democrat Chuck Schumer says so close to an election, voters should decide who makes the High Court's nomination.
By every modicum of decency and honor, Leader McConnell and the Republican Senate majority have no right to fill it.
4 Republicans would need to join Senate Democrats
110
to block
yards
a confirmation vote. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Checking your money tonight, the Dow finished the day down 510 points. The S&P 500 down 38. The NASDAQ down 14. WMAL traffic and weather next.
Okay, I'm going to get right to the point.
While the world may seem crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm so crazy. There is one place where you can use your mind.
I have to lose my mind.
Instead of lose it. WMAL.
Polls have Joe Biden ahead of President Trump. But did a poll ever ask your opinion?
Nice.
Now, Newsmax TV is asking Americans to vote in their national poll. Vote instantly for Trump or Biden. Just text the word virus to 39747 and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. word. Text virus to 39747 and watch Newsmax TV on all major cable systems. Check your guide. Plus, Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Samsung, and more. So vote now for Trump or Biden. Text virus to 39747.
Oh, whale!
Okay, that takes you down to even par. Nice.
Wow, whale.
Nice bird on that last hole. Let's see another one.
Whale, whale, whale. Oh no, whale!
The tides can turn quick on the water. Progressive's boat insurance has you covered. Get a quote today in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com.
Well, at least it wasn't a shark, am I right?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Zero Res can get you a cleaner, healthier home. Book at ZeroResDC.com.
Ooh, manly. Worldly.
Heading for the green here.
Ugh, veiny. Lose the last one with help from Virginia Vein Care, where minimally invasive procedures treat varicose, spider veins, and heavy achy legs. 703-506 Vein or VirginiaVeinCare.com.
WMAL traffic and weather. Here's Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Getting word from Germantown right now that 118 looks to be shut down between Wisteria Drive and Klopper Road for a serious crash there. Traveling along 270, you're actually going to be in really good shape all the way from the Beltway to Frederick. You're looking at a 35-minute trip in total. Southbound 95 in Virginia, the big delay is still Lorton down to the Occoquan with a crash right on the left shoulder at the Occoquan. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL ABC 7 Storm Watch forecast.
Plan for a quiet and dry evening around the DMV with temperatures falling through the 60s. After sunset will be in the 50s. Overnight, mainly clear and starry. Also a frost advisory areas north and west of the district until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Waking up tomorrow, temperatures in the 30s, especially along the I-81 corridor, to lower to middle 40s inside the Beltway. Lots of sun tomorrow, near 70 degrees, near 80 degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm ABC 7 meteorologist Steve Rudin of Stormwater 7 Weather Center.
It's 65 at Reagan National. I'm Maria Leaf on Washington's Mall, WMAL.
Now, the Larry O'Connor Show.
5:06 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. Yeah, I've said it a couple of times in this program, and let me just reiterate. For those of you who don't like where we are in American politics, if you don't like how the Senate functions, if you don't like how these Judiciary Committee hearings go, you don't like what happened to Brett Kavanaugh, you don't like what happened to Clarence Thomas, you don't like what happened to Robert Bork,
okay,
you don't like this debate going on right now, whether this empty seat should be filled by the president or not, whether the Senate should take it up or not, whether there's precedent being broken, whether there's hypocrisy, whether there's a Biden rule, whether there's a McConnell rule, whether there's all of it. Most of the things that I just pointed to that you're angry about, that you don't like, that frustrates you, that is all the reasons why you don't like Washington, D.C., Joe Biden's responsible for a whole lot of it. He presided over the Bork hearings. He presided over the Clarence Thomas hearings, which gave birth to the Kavanaugh hearings. And this whole thing about, whether a president should be able to fill a seat in the Supreme Court during a presidential year. Well, here he was back in 1992.
It is my view that if a Supreme Court justice resigns tomorrow or within the next several weeks, or resigns at the end of the summer, President Bush should consider following the practice of a majority of his predecessors and not name a nominee until after the November election is completed.
Which is, of course, what Republicans did after Barack Obama defied what Biden suggested here. The Republicans in 2016 did not bring the nomination from Obama to the floor of the Senate. Now they say they will. Is that hypocrisy? Should the Biden rule apply? Is there even a Biden rule? All right, joining us now to sort this out. Andrew Grossman. He's an adjunct scholar over at the Cato Institute's Robert A. Levy Center for Constitutional Studies.
Seventh hole coming up.
And Andrew, clearly the Biden rule is not in the Constitution, right? Or am I missing something?
The Biden rule reflects something like 200 years of political practice, and Biden laid it out in such precise terms. It's like the guy had a crystal ball to describe what was going to happen in 2016 and 2020. And you can follow what Biden said, and, it's funny, the guy who's doing it is Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell. So now explain that, because people might be hearing that and say, wait a minute, Biden said that the president shouldn't nominate anyone for the Supreme Court during a presidential election year. What's the difference between where Biden was in 92 and where McConnell is right now?
Look, I mean, Biden said that.
Looks like you're going to hit some sand
here. You're
here.
cutting him off in the middle of the sentence, right? Biden continued to say
ugly.
that the reason
give it a good smack.
that the Senate shouldn't go forward in that circumstance is because you had divided government. And he made this very clear. That was his whole point, is that when there isn't a consensus on the kinds of justices that should be nominated to the Supreme Court that should be confirmed, the right thing to do is to throw that to the voters, let them choose. But the opposite is equally true. You've got something like 25 times over the past 200 years, you've had nominations where you've had the same party in the White House and the same party leading the Senate. And Biden recognized that.
Doesn't look like it's on fairway.
This very narrow exception. And, you know, he took that to the mat. He was telling the president, President Bush at the time, don't even nominate a justice. It would be ahistorical. But he recognized that it is entirely historically appropriate for the president and the Senate to proceed when the voters have already given them the mandate to do so.
And that's critically important. So, in other words, Mitch McConnell would not be the majority leader as of 2014 had the American people in key states said, we want Republicans to preside over any judicial hearings, whether it's the Obama as president or Hillary Clinton as president or whoever might be the Republican nominee, which we certainly didn't know would be Donald Trump in 2014. Likewise, Donald Trump as president of the United States, I think,
now from here we are well above the green,
because he said, if you vote for me, I'll nominate this list of potential justices. So there is consensus there, and here are elected officials following through with that consensus.
You know, there is about more consensus on this issue than there's ever been in two ways. First of all, you have Donald Trump elected, you've got the Republican majority in the Senate, and in these elections we're talking about, judicial nominations were front and center. They were front and center for Donald Trump. They were front and center
I don't know if this has enough.
Following the Kavanaugh nomination and the debacle that occurred in the Senate then. So that's what the voters were thinking about, and that's what they chose.
Yeah.
So, you know, to argue that
feet to the hole
the
here.
American people have said clearly, you know, what they're looking for in Supreme Court justices, and the other side, by the way, they don't even have a doctrine. It's not like they're pushing some other view of how it is judges ought to judge or something like that. They don't, you know, for people like Mitch McConnell, and really for President Donald Trump, originalism is the guide star.
Right.
Whereas on the other side, there's just nothing. And
that's
so
a great point.
You've got this consensus about what it is a Supreme Court justice ought to be, what it is a Supreme Court justice ought to do. I don't even understand what the argument would be for the branches not to move forward with the nomination at this point.
Speaking with Andrew Grossman, he is an adjunct scholar at Cato Institute, and he, along with David Rifkin, wrote about this in the Wall Street Journal this weekend. The headline is Why the Biden Rule Doesn't Apply in 2020.
Let's see what you can do with his 8-footer.
And I suspect the Democrats might abandon this argument because there's some pretty good weight behind yours and other people making this deal. But let me just go through this because it seems to me there are 4 actions at play here that can be shot through the lens of the McConnell rule or the Biden rule or the U.S. Constitution, which I think is the rule that we should all be focusing on. So let me ask you this. 2016, open seat, Antonin Scalia passes away. It's an election year, and Obama has a Republican-led Senate.
Solid par, well
he
done.
nominates Merrick Garland for the Supreme Court.
And that'll
was
keep
that
you at
an
1 under for the round?
Move or a constitutional move?
It was entirely constitutional.
Right.
Okay. It might have been
Let's
politically
let it rip.
but it was constitutional.
Correct. And Mitch McConnell, as majority leader of the Senate, says, with all due respect, Mr. President, thank you, but we're not going to take this into consideration. Was that unconstitutional?
Perfectly constitutional. The Senate's right.
And now here we are in 2020. The president has a seat. It's 6 weeks before Election Day, and he's going to nominate someone, he tells us, by the end of the week. Is that unconstitutional?
Nope. Again, it's the president's duty.
And now Mitch McConnell, that same majority leader who would not take up Obama's nomination, now he says he will take up the nomination and the president will get a vote. Is that unconstitutional?
Heading towards the beach here.
Again,
not the
it's
good
advise
kind.
and consent, and it's what the Senate is there to do.
So what are we arguing about here? I mean, they really have no argument.
You know, the interesting thing is there is an argument. The guy who made the argument, again, it was then Senator Joe Biden. And,
yes.
And people call it a rule, but it was really a little bit more nuanced than that. What he said was, look, when you've got an election year and you've got this division between the White House and the Senate, if the president is going to move forward to fill a vacancy, what the president has to do is consult with the Senate and put forward a consensus nominee. Now, Barack Obama could have done that in
I think you could 2-putt from here. And for the bird.
He declined to do that. And so, of course, the Senate was not going to offer, its consent. It was going to carry out its constitutional obligation to make up its own mind, and it decided, following Biden's advice, following this rule of 200 years or so worth of precedent, to put it to the voters and to see what the voters thought. And my gosh, the voters spoke resoundingly on this point.
Great stuff. A very important article, and I appreciate you fleshing it out even more. Let cooler heads prevail in arguments like this.
And after 9 holes, you're doing great. Keep up the good work.
My pleasure.
It's
see you
5:14
on the back
on
nine.
WMAL.
Washington's Mall, 105.9 FM, WMAL.
Larry O'Connor here for EMP 180 Weight Loss. With everything going on, there's never been a better time to get healthier in every way possible. Here's just one out of hundreds of our listeners who found success with EMP 180.
My name is Kevin, and I would highly recommend EMP 180 for anybody who's thinking about losing weight. One of the best things about working remotely with EMP was that I could do it in the privacy of my own home. What I need to be eating, when I need to be eating. For me, it has been the only successful way to lose weight. I've lost over 22 pounds.
Get fit before the holidays. Call EMP 180 today for their specially priced 6-week, 6-pack weight loss and wellness package. Boost your immune system, feel stronger, and be empowered to live a healthier life. Go to EMP180.com or call 855-888-0180. That's 855-888-0180. EMP180, empowering a healthier you. At 15, WMAL traffic and weather every 10 minutes. First on the 5s, here's Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
This report sponsored by Unbound.org. Eastbound traffic on I-66 still slows from Nutley Street down to the Beltway. We've got that delay southbound on 95. It starts a little before Lorton Road now.
Okay, so you're in the rough
crash
here.
Over on the left shoulder just before the Occoquan. We're also still trying to confirm the accident in Germantown on 118 westbound between Wisteria Drive and Clapper Road. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL ABC 7 Stormwater Forecast.
Mainly clear and chilly moving through the overnight hours with a frost advisory north and west of the district until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Nighttime lows range from the 30s in the mountains to middle to upper 40s in the district. For tomorrow, lots of sunshine again. Highs will be in the lower 70s. Warmer yet Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Highs near 80 degrees with lots of sunshine. I'm ABC 7 meteorologist Steve Rudin in the Stormwatch 7 Weather Center.
Right now, 66 degrees at 517.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back.
Let's see what you can
bounce
do with
forward
this 7-footer.
With Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig. With the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. And with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next. And bounce forward. Help your business to bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet solution from Comcast Business. Starting at $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, for a limited time, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card.
And that'll keep
Call
you
or go
at
online
2
today
under
to
for
find
the
out
round.
more. Offer ends 9/27/2020. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet customers. Early termination fee applies. After 24 months, monthly service charge increases to $99.99 a month. May not be combined with other offers. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
Let's talk about real estate for a minute and why I only recommend Sarah and Debbie Reynolds with the Reynolds team, Keller Williams Realty. I recommend it because, well, they're my real estate agents, literally. They helped me buy my home. Meredith and I are so grateful for all the great love and support and effort that they put through. It was a great deal for us that they helped negotiate. You don't want to list with any agent. It really does. Trust me on this. I learned this through the whole process. It matters. It makes a difference what real estate agent you have on your side. Talk to the Reynolds team. The Wall Street Journal just named them #1 in the D.C. Metro for the 4th year in a row. Let them show you. Listen, I'm not asking you to just give them your business. I just want you to make a phone call. Let them earn your business. They'll show you. They'll show you the data. They'll show you how they sell 3 times faster than the average agent, and for 6.5% more money. Oh yeah, 6.5. That's $32,500 more dollars. That's worth a look-see, isn't it? That's worth a phone call. to let them earn your business, that's what I want you to do. And, of course, Sarah and Debbie will guarantee to sell your home for 100% of your asking price. That's amazing, and that's in writing, up front, before anything happens. Call Sarah and Debbie Reynolds right now, 844-344-SOLD. It's 844-344-SOLD, or online, DebbieHasTheBuyers.com.
The stories that have been breaking while you've been at work. This is the Larry O'Connor Show.
Oh, my goodness, so much more to get to. And you guys want to jump in here as well. In fact, some of you have been waiting for a while. I'm going to get your calls, 888-630-9625. We also have the president making some remarks here on his way to Ohio. Is he doing another rally tonight in Ohio? 888-630-WMAL. Dennis in Annapolis, beautiful capital of Maryland, Annapolis. Dennis, you're on WMAL. Thanks for holding.
Thanks for taking my call, Larry. Just want to make 3 quick points.
Okay.
One, you can believe that had Obama had the Senate in 2016 with Garland as the nominee, he would have pushed it through.
Of course.
Even though he was lame duck. Point 2, there's a big reason Biden won't release his list of nominees for the Supreme Court, because they're all left-wing radicals. And point 3, this is probably a good argument for no early voting. Things can change.
One under for the
Wow,
round.
isn't that a great thing? You're absolutely, think of all those people in Virginia who voted thinking that, that this was not part of the issue. I wonder if they would change their vote. I don't know if it would change their vote, Dennis, but it's a great example of why early voting can be a problem. Well said. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. The president did have some remarks. I want you to hear it, and I'm going to hear more from you at 888-630. WMAL. Here he was on his way. Is this on the South Lawn? I'm guessing it's the South Lawn.
I would say on Friday or Saturday I'll be announcing the pick. It's 5 women are being looked at and vetted very carefully. 5. And we'll make a decision probably Saturday, but Friday or Saturday.
And Friday or Saturday, he says. And?
Well, I'd much rather have a vote before the election, because there's a lot of work to be done, and I'd much rather have it. We have plenty of time to do it. I mean, there's really a lot of time. So let's say I make the announcement on Saturday. There's a great deal of time before the election. That'll be up to Mitch and the Senate. But I'd certainly much rather have the vote. I think it sends a good signal. And it's solidarity and lots of other things. And I'm just doing my constitutional obligation. I have an obligation to do this. So I would rather see it before the election.
Hole number 13.
888-630-9625, 888-630-WML. The president says he wants this vote before the election. And I tend to think that there's no reason why he shouldn't get a vote before the election. And we've already heard from the Democrats that they are going to use, what did they say, every possible tactic that they have at their disposal to delay it and prevent it. Well, all right. So you tell me, 888-630-WML, what do you want? We know what the president's going to do. He has said what he's going to do. There will be a nominee for the Supreme Court by this time next week. Now, what do you want the Senate to do? You want hearings? You want to fast-track it? And especially if this is somebody who's sitting on a D.C. circuit, or
13-footer here.
Circuit, on a federal bench right now, and they've already been through a hearing and a vote in the last couple of years, which I think if the president does that, it would be very powerful, actually, because the vetting has already taken place for a federal bench. What do you want the Senate to do here? And more importantly, if the Senate cannot get their act together, if they can't figure out a way to get this vote and confirm this judicial nominee between now and Election Day, what message today? The president just said that would send a clear message. It would send a clear message if we got this done. Yeah, it would. I want to hear what message you get if the Republicans can't get it done, if they can't get Susan Collins in line, or Mitt Romney in line,
that's going to keep you at
Lisa
2 under for the round.
Or God knows whoever else might be messing around with this right now.
Coming off a par on the last one. Let's see what happens here.
Because I think that's an even more important message. And what do you do about it? I mean, listen, wherever you're sitting right now, unless you're listening in Pennsylvania and West Virginia, which I know many of you are, if you're in Maryland or Virginia, there's not a whole lot you can do about it because none of your senators are going to vote for the president's nominee. But for those who are sitting in a state where they have a Republican senator right now, what do you think the recourse should be? 888-630-WMAL. Let's talk the politics and policy going forward on the vacancy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court. Yes, another wrinkle in this 2020 presidential election.
Washington's Mall, WMAL, where Washington comes to talk.
It's time to cast your ballot for a better future. Take back control of your life with It's Just Lunch and set a positive agenda that benefits you. In an otherwise hectic world, one thing is certain. Dating is a higher priority for singles now more than ever. The right candidates are out there, and you can find them with the help of It's Just Lunch. For nearly 3 decades, It's Just Lunch has been changing lives one match at a time. We know that it's not how you date, it's who you date. And our members are serious about finding real connection. Maybe you're ready to go out for lunch or drinks at a restaurant, or maybe you'd rather start with a date prearranged for you in a virtual setting. Whatever your comfort level, our professional matchmakers make sure your dating experience is safe, low pressure, and fun. There's only so much you can control in life. With It's Just Lunch, dating is one of them. Date your way and take back control today by casting your vote for more connection and a better future. Visit itsjustlunchdc.com or call 202-466-6699. It's Just Lunch. Connection awaits with guaranteed dates.
It's 525 WMAL traffic and weather every 10 minutes. First on the fives. Here is Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Looks like we're having a really good afternoon on 270 right now. We're still looking at a 36-minute trip from the Beltway in Bethesda up to the I-70 junction in Frederick. Southbound 95 in Virginia, not horrible, but you're going to be very slow from Lorton Road down to a crash on the left shoulder just before the Occoquan. And we do have a delay on 66 eastbound from Nutley Street to the Beltway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL ABC 7 Stormwater Forecast.
Plan for a quiet and dry evening around the DMV with temperatures falling through the 60s. After sunset will be in the 50s. Overnight, mainly clear and starry. Also a frost advisory areas north and west of the district until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Waking up tomorrow, temperatures in the 30s, especially along the I-81 corridor, to lower to middle 40s inside the Beltway. Lots of sun tomorrow, near 70 degrees, near 80 degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm ABC 7 meteorologist Steve Rudin in the Stormwatch 7 Weather Center.
Right now, 66 degrees at 527.
Making insurance easy for employers all starts with focus. Renaissance stays focused on dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, so your company can have a benefits experience that stands out. Ask your broker about Renaissance or visit RenaissanceBenefits.com.
Time to upgrade your old tub? Long Bass will replace it with a beautiful shower in just 1 day. Call now for $1,000 off. We make it easy. Call Long Bass at 800-715-5664.
Traffic and weather, the day's top stories, and you. This is the Larry O'Connor Show.
Dave in the district. Boy, once we thought 2020 was as unprecedented as we ever thought it could get, and now we have this. Dave, what do you think has to happen going forward?
Well, I think that the president should nominate somebody, and the Senate should pass it right away before the election starts.
And no committee hearings? Just take it right to the floor?
No, because the other times the nasty people like Senator Kennedy, but he lambasted Alito, and they did Robert Bork a bad deal. He should have been passed, and a lot of other ones, so they should have to go through that again.
Yeah, and especially, again, if it's somebody who's gone through the confirmation process recently in the federal bench at whatever level they may be, it would just be redundant anyway. You're right, Dave. And that's where the grandstanding happens.
Around 240 yards out.
That takes up a lot of time, and it takes these senators off the campaign trail. A lot of these senators need to be back in their state running for office. One of them needs to be running for vice president. So, I mean, that's the most efficient and expedited way to go. Just bring it to the floor. Let's have it. You want to have a debate, have it on the floor, but we don't need to do it in a committee setting. That should be interesting, to say the least. All right, more of your reflections on this. 888-630-WMAL, a remarkable turn of events now, and add to the last 6 weeks of this presidential election and the conversation we have about who will run the executive branch of this nation. We now add to the mix a nomination and then a confirmation of the replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It would be Donald Trump's third
solid swing
nominee to the Supreme Court in just 4 years. Remarkable. And we're about to live through it, you and I. Buckle up. Let's talk about it. 888-630.
Looks
WMAL.
like about 100 yards
Washington's
spin
Mall,
here.
WMAL, where Washington comes to talk.
For Mervis Diamond Importers, this is Ronnie Mervis. Love conquers everything. It's the one force that triumphs over the virus. That's why relationships prosper and marriages continue. At Mervis, we're proud to play our part, providing beautiful diamonds and gorgeous designer rings. More than ever, this is the time to say, I love you, with a breathtaking Mervis diamond ring. In changing times, the one thing you can count on is Mervis diamond quality.
Nice.
It lasts forever. Come see our amazing world-class diamonds. We have the perfect one for you. The Mervis importer value is unbeatable.
32
so if you're only going to buy one diamond for the rest of your life, make sure it's a Mervis diamond. Mervis means more diamonds, better quality, and the most value. Financing is available. Select your diamond in Tysons, Rockville, or DC, or online. Mervis Diamond Importers. For your appointment, call 800-HER-LOVE or go to mervisdiamond.com. That's 800-HER-LOVE or mervisdiamond.com.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. Now, more than ever, depend on 105.9 FM, WMAL, a Cumulus station. News now.
WMAL News at 5:30. I'm Maria Leaf. Some Maryland restaurants are allowed to have the most indoor diners they've had in months tonight as they increase capacity from 50 to 75%, but not all of them.
Montgomery and Frederick counties are among those staying at 50% capacity because of concerning COVID-19 metrics. Frederick Executive Jan Gardner.
I appreciate that the hospitality industry as a whole has been hard hit by COVID.
So the county's doing things to help, including trying to get grant money so restaurants can pay for heaters to extend the outdoor dining season as temperatures cool. Montgomery County Director of Emergency Management, Earl Stoddard.
We may also have an opt-in program that will extend the hours for the alcohol sales in restaurants.
Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Virginia College that sent all of its students home earlier this month is going to resume in-person instruction.
James Madison University is planning to welcome students back on October 5th. School officials say they now feel confident they can keep students safe through the fall semester. The university will institute new rules that limit class sizes to no larger than 50. There will be fewer seats and more strict mask enforcement in dining halls, and mandatory prevalence testing of 300 students each week to gauge the spread of the virus. The school went all virtual 3 weeks ago after 528 people tested positive for COVID-19. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The body of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg will lie in repose at the Supreme Court this week. Ginsburg's casket will be on public view Wednesday and Thursday under the portico at the top of the steps in front of the building. A private ceremony will take place at the court Wednesday morning. Ginsburg will be buried next week at Arlington National Cemetery in a private service. President Trump says the announcement for his nomination to replace Justice Ginsburg will likely come on Friday or Saturday. He spoke with Fox and Friends.
We're looking for somebody who's brilliant, really understands the law, and abides by the Constitution, and a good person. We're looking for a good person, a person who's really been somebody that has very, very high moral values.
And as we bid farewell to the Justice, we're reminded a final time about her long friendship with the Justice who preceded her in death.
Well, she and my father were good friends even before they were on the Supreme Court together. They were on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals together in the early 80s.
Chris Scalia, the son of the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, tells WMAL's Mornings on the Mall people are always surprised to hear about the bond between his dad and late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg over gourmet food and wine, but also
giving each other advice and listening to what the other had to say about how to improve opinions
without compromising either their friendship or their beliefs. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com. Checking your money, the Dow finished the day down 510 points. The S&P 500 down 38. The NASDAQ down 14. WMAL Sports brought to you by Unbound.org. The Washington football team looking to put yesterday's loss behind them. This is head coach Ron Rivera.
We have a ways to go to get better, to be better as a football team. Am I fired? Yeah, I am. But I'm really disappointed in the way we played. And again, like I said, we've got to look at how we called the game.
Okay, here we go.
Next up, the Browns on Sunday. Coverage here on WMAL will start at noon. WMAL traffic and weather next.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. continue their dream of education, or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Set up your Amazon Echo to hear Chris Plant weekdays 9 to noon.
I'd be very interested in knowing more about that.
For one-time setup, say, Alexa, enable WMAL skill. Then to listen, just say, Alexa, open WMAL.
Ah, you see.
Details at WMAL.com.
I'm Jeff Dick, Chairman and CEO of Main Street Bank. Main Street's commodity is a dollar bill. We can't add spice to it, we can't color it, or change its appearance. What sets us apart from other banks is our attention to detail, our willingness to go the distance to ensure each customer has an excellent experience.
All right,
Main
we're right
Street
around
Bank
125 yards
its products to serve the unique goals of each customer. Visit mstreetbank.com. We bank where you breathe.
Main Street Bank. Member FDIC.
Have your legs gone from long and lean to best unseen? It's time to visit Virginia Vein Care, where minimally invasive procedures treat varicose, spider veins, and heavy achy legs. Call 703-506-VEIN or virginiaveincare.com.
Now that was a swing.
At EMP 180 Weight Loss Centers, you get one-to-one nutrition counseling and positive support to lose weight. And a new EMP 180 is now open in Potomac. To learn more, go to EMP180.com or call 855-888-0180.
News is brought to you by New Look Home Design.
WMAL traffic and weather. Here's Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Right away, we've got huge changes again on the southeast-southwest freeway. It's all westbound after Main Avenue. First, we've got a new accident blocking the left lane. Then right after that, we've got another new accident blocking the right lane. And traffic so far is backed up to the 3rd Street tunnel, but building rapidly over on the eastbound side. You're also going to find traffic jam from right about the Case Bridge, just coming off of the 14th Street Bridge. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL ABC7 Stormwater Forecast.
Plan for a quiet and dry evening around the DMV with temperatures falling through the 60s. After sunset will be in the 50s. Overnight, mainly clear and starry. Also a frost advisory areas north and west of the district until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Waking up tomorrow, temperatures in the 30s, especially along the I-81 corridor to lower to middle 40s.